Hello my lovely Lego addicts, I hope you're all doing super well. I thought this video needed a slight bit of introduction because it's a little bit different to what I usually do, as you may be able to tell from how long this video is. Basically, I would recommend you go make yourself a nice hot drink, get yourself a little snack, settle in, because this episode is an hour and 30 minutes or so long, and we will be ranking every single modular ever released. With we, I mean myself and Alberto, who have you seen in previous vlogs. His channel is linked below, SkyGuy365, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of context because it is a bit different for the channel, but I really wanted to discuss all the modulars, and it turns out we had a lot to say, and there's quite a few of them, so it just took some time. So I hope you like it. Let me know if it's something that you may want to see again, because there's definitely more things we can rank this way, and I hope you have a lovely little time. Go and relax. I will see you at the very end.
Hello, lovely Lego addicts, and welcome back to the channel. What is this? It is all magical. Well, it is a live, but not actually live, ranking of the modulars, because we're going to create the ultimate, definitive, definitely non-changeable list that we will totally 100% agree on. So we have a tier list, very professionally set up. So this is going to be the ultimate, very important, nobody can disagree with us list.
Exactly.
But who is this stranger, you may ask? You may have seen him before. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Alberto, and I am SkyGuy365 on YouTube. So in my channel, I sort of cover city building, Lego Harry Potter, Lego Star Wars. So yeah, feel free to check it out if you want. And
link in the description, and probably I'll put a card up if I remember. Sorry if I forgot. Yeah, we're going to create a list. We'll do our best. Also, yes, I'm in a different room because I needed 2 screens, so now I have to be professional, serious Mug Johanna.
Good.
So we have obviously a slightly different approach to modulars, because I've only been into like Lego modulars for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Considering
wow.
how many I have.
Just a year and a half? Curl.
Yeah. And you've actually been collecting for ages, haven't you? So
yes, I've been collecting since I was like, I don't know exactly what year. Well, the year the Palace Cinema came out. That was my first modular. I've been collecting ever since that one. I think it was 2013.
But you've gone back as well, though, haven't you? Like, you didn't just...
Yeah. Like, I started with the Palace Cinema, and then I was like, I should probably get all the older ones before they retire. And so I started getting, the oldest one I could get at the time was Fire Brigade. So I have everything from the Fire Brigade onwards.
Shall we just start, like, with the most recent one? People will know this one. It's been discussed. I feel like people will have an opinion on this. And actually, I suppose we'll start with, like, I mean, it's controversial. I mean, what isn't these days? But we will be able to rank that. So we have the Boutique Hotel. Where will it fall? So we have, like, superior tier, and then just, like, down from there. Yeah, how do you feel about the Boutique Hotel, sir?
I love it so much. It's so detailed. I love the colors. I love all like the interior details. I love that it has a little art gallery on the side. I love that it's like 2 separate things, but it's all
and it's
also
quite
like
full of detail, the art gallery, even though it's a small side build. Like it has a lot of attention.
And I love the little callback to the old Creator Expert logo, like the little sculpture. That's just so good. I don't like the palm tree though.
Yeah, same. I'm so with you. I think we have a very similar opinion on this build, because I know that, you know, it's controversial when I find that, like, some people don't like the color, but actually I really love it. I really like the vibe of it. I personally, I'm like, my brain is going like A tier. I think that's where it comfortably sits for me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. S tier, we should save it for like something special.
Yeah, like I feel like I can still, there are still bits I want to change, like the palm tree, which I think is too big a deal, like too big a part of the set.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like sort of like a key feature, and it just doesn't work as well. Like, I haven't changed it. I don't think I will change it because it's okay. I know. I just like to keep the set as it is most of the time, and then so I think A is good.
Cool. Yeah, there's a solid start. Let's be honest. I mean, we are rating one of our favorite themes here, so it's like it's gonna be really high, but like I can be fussy, so I think we'll just work down then. Let's just have let's just do that. So like, next up we have the also black boxed police station. So obviously quite tall, I remember
Yes.
being really initially quite disappointed about it, not because it looked bad, but just because I heard what it was going to be before I saw it, and I was like, oh, a police station. Like, I don't really know if I want that, but I was picturing like the like Lego City type ones with like blue and white, and I was like, oh no. But I really like the building itself. I think it's really nice. It's maybe a bit square, but I really like how there's essentially 3 buildings that kind of have different heights to them, or like depths.
Yes.
So kind of create that dynamic. Makes it a bit more dynamic.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, it gives the city a dynamic building that it just doesn't look like a big block. You know, like say for example the fire brigade. You look at the fire brigade, and it's just like block.
Yeah.
But you look at this one, and it's like 3 different things with different facade distances, and it looks really nice. And I really, really, really love the little vine on the side.
Yeah,
That is
I
like,
don't love the shrubs though for detail outside. I think they're okay. They're just like me.
yeah.
And
I
feel
think
like the interior of the donut shop could be slightly more. I don't know. It feels like it's a bit too much empty space. Like there could have been like more of a picture or like.
yeah, exactly. I feel like it needed a little bit of a sit down area instead of just like.
I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. Like it can,
No.
but there needed to be some. I feel like a bit more detail would have been nice. But I still really like it. But I think if I had to choose between the boutique hotel and the police station, I definitely think I would choose boutique hotel. Should it go to Beta? Because I feel like Beta all of a sudden sounds like quite low for it, because it's still really good.
Yeah, it's still really good. I think I would go A tier. I think it's deserving of an A tier. It's like,
I mean, I like
the color
colours as
combination
well.
and like it just looks so good. It's like just top quality, you know?
Okay, fine. I'll be swayed this time. I think to be fair, because I was thinking like, it's more like B plus, maybe it's A. It was. I mean, I've recently rebuilt it, and it is really nice. And I also forgot like how cool it is that you can like lift up the prison door, and you can see like the little tunnel.
Yes, the little
with
tunnel with the
like the spoon. Like I thought that was quite good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Don't worry, we'll have more heated debates as we go along this list.
Will we? I think we'll agree on everything. Bookshop. Now, I'm gonna apparently just talk lots, but I like the bookshop. But I feel like it's like 85% there for me. I feel like the concept is good, like the color combinations are really good, and then they stopped at like the point where it could have been phenomenal. I really feel like the interiors let it down, like the bookshop building especially, down a little bit. It feels really lacking and a bit like cold. There's not enough bookshelves inside, but I love the color schemes they chose. It's just not quite there, I don't think.
I mean, I'm very biased for this one because, as you know, this is the modular that sort of kicked me back into the line.
Sure.
So I have a very big soft spot for it because I love the tree outside. It's like very big, very prominent little bluebird. And like the way the colors just like contrast each other, like the orange and the blue. It's just, I really, really like it.
Like the exterior is really strong, but I feel like the interior lets it down.
Yes, I agree. Like the room at the top of the bookshop is just like, there should have been.
The bed is a really nice design, though.
Yes, I agree. Like everything that they've put in, like every piece of furniture in the bookshop is gorgeous.
Like there should have been more of it.
Put in more? Yes.
Yeah, I agree. But then obviously you know how much I love the bookshop tree, because that was like the draw, like the, what do you call it? Like the blueprint of all my trees initially. Obviously, I've come along a few stages since then, but that was like, I now want 20 of these trees because they're gorgeous. Actually, I learned from that Lego YouTube video that I watched by the lovely, what is he called? James?
Oh, Jamie!
Yes. He was saying that the guy that designed it actually started with the tree, which is why it's called Birch Books. So I think it's a good thing that we love the tree.
Yeah, I mean, it was the best thing. Like it was. I remember seeing the initial release pictures for this and thinking, really wow, this is gorgeous.
I think I'm gonna place it in B. For me anyway, I'd like to.
Yeah, I think I'll let you put it in B just because of the interiors.
If there'd be more interiors, I feel like I would have placed it higher. Just remember, guys, the context is we love pretty much all of these sets, and I would probably have them all were it not for some of the price limitations on them, because some of them go really too much money. But yeah, like you should still get this set. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, also,
agreed.
with the police station, I really love how the police station sit next to the townhouse. Like, they look so good together. Like, moving on to my absolute favorite modular ever created.
Oh, of course.
Like, I don't know. We've all had conversations about a corner shop, right? It's a thing. It has.
I mean, it's not bad. It has some questionable choices, I will say. Okay, like some of the interiors are a little bit strange. I like the colors. Like the colors work really well, like the outer colors, and I like
the
the
building
orange
techniques used are like
Yes.
really cool.
Yes, they're very, very like it's very well designed. Like
From
credit where credit is due, you know. But
and the
like
feature of like the roller door and the feature of like the hinge to like get
yes,
the car up, like
thing.
it has things that are cool. But I don't know, I just don't love it.
Yeah, I mean, this was in a period where I was out of the modular building line and like it didn't have enough power to reel me back in. So it's like it's not a bad building and it's not like a great building. It's just a, neutral building.
I mean, obviously if your viewers of my channel, they probably would have seen my mock. So I've mocked mine to have a corner shop, like I have a record store and a cafe at the bottom floor because I don't like the garage area. Even though it's a fun build, I just didn't like it for my city. But the techniques used are fascinating, and I do really like the design of the actual building that sits above it. Like the colors, as you say, are gorgeous. It's just, I don't know, I just can't love it. I'm sorry, I want to go see it.
I get it. Yeah, I guess we could go with C. Yeah, we can go with C. I'll let it slide.
Have you put it in your city?
I do have it in my city.
Was it like afterthought where you placed it, or was it like, no, this needs to sit front and center?
No, it's not front and center. It's like off to the side.
So you're like, it's just like, oh yeah, that thing exists.
Yeah, it exists. It's a good corner that I needed somewhere. Like, and I like the fact that it has like a gas station at the bottom because I like the little cars driving around town. And the gas station itself has a bunch of like really cute details, like the little squeegee to clean the glass. I thought that was.
I had no idea what the bloody thing I had no idea what it was when I built it first. I was like, but it's very obviously not a European at least to me, not a European gas station. So I was like, I have no idea what this thing is.
Yeah, no. It's very much like sort of American inspired. I saw it and I was like, this is really cute. Like.
But like it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, this is cute, but do I really need it? And I was just like, no, I don't. I don't need it right now.
I think also by the time I got this, I'd kind of like cemented the fact that I wanted my city to be sort of rooted in like vintage European style a little bit. So like cars really weren't like a very big focus in my city because it was initially just a street. So I was like, yeah, there's cars, but like two of them at the time. It was like the gift of purchase like vintage car and then the one that came with the diner. So I was like, I don't really need a gas station. Like, come on, this is superfluous. Like, my cars run on air. That is yeah, that's how it
They're
goes.
so eco-friendly.
Absolutely, yeah. Plastic apparently can be powered that way. This one is going to be a controversial one. I really love this one.
I can't even talk about this. It's hilarious because it's like right next to me. But like, this set,
it broke you, didn't it?
It broke me. Like I stopped collecting modulars for a time because of this set. I don't
get, because I love it. Like I think this is brilliant.
No, like here, let me break it down, okay? So it's a good set. Like if I were to analyze this as a standalone building, not to be tampered with the modular line, like I'd be like, this is an amazing building. It's so nice. So many details, top tier. But it was like the whole modular line up until this point was like working with a certain style of building. And then they just threw this one in the middle. And it's just like, what? Like the colors, they annoy me so much. Like the turquoise, teal, and the pink. It's just like, ooh. No. It just mismatches so much. It's so hard to place. That's why I have it in like a little corner. Like it's not attached to anything. It's like not attached to any of the other modulars.
I think is fine on the side, but I do agree that it's really difficult to place from a standing point that, like, it's technically not a corner modular, but it feels like it really should be. I have struggled to place it in the past, and it does, and the turquoise thing does look odd next to certain modulars. So I do agree. I know where you're coming from, but this was my third modular, and when I bought, when I bought it, it sat on its own. I had the graveyard in between, I think. And actually, it sat on its complete own to start with on the shelf, and I installed it. So I didn't quite have that problem. And then when I started extending the city, it sat next to my. So basically, actually thinking about it, it has sat on its own for basically in any layout I've done, because it's pretty much on its own at the moment as well. But I do really, really love it. But yeah, it is hard to place.
Yes, I mean, I agree. It's a good building. It just mismatches so much with all the other ones. Like, even the ones that have come after it, they're just like, it's just like a sore thumb, you know? Like,
I see. Maybe I can see your point more, actually, because now I having to obviously be confronted where it actually sits in my city. Fair enough. Like, as part of the modular collective, it isn't the most friendly in a street setup, but on its own, I think I loved it. I thought the car was fantastic. Yes, obviously the guy that designed it was a car guy. So
yeah, like I said, on its own, it's a great set. Like,
and the interiors
no doubt.
are like,
yes, the interiors are beautiful. They're so detailed, and like, it just, everything was thought out perfectly. I really like it. I like it as a set. But
you've got to think about it in the context of the street, I guess.
Exactly. Like, it shocked me when I first saw it. I was like, I can't believe this is where we're going. And then, like, a part of me thought, are we like switching over to like 1950s buildings now? Is that what the modular line is going to become? And I was like, I was just so distraught. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Okay. So, but like, what opinion is going to prevail then? Is it like the fact that it isn't perfect? Like, where do we place it? Because I feel like we have two opinions on this building, which is it's a great building, but as part of the modular line. So, like, which one?
I'd say B. B is like midpoint, you know?
I was like expecting you to go lower than that.
No, I'm not gonna go lower because it's a good build. It's a good build. It's got really good details.
And
yes, I don't like the colors. Yes, it doesn't match, but you know, it's still a good build.
I'm very comfortable with B. I think if I were to be honest, I think I personally put it in A. But like B is a decent compromise considering that it is really hard to place, to be fair.
Yes, because I knew you would want to put it in A. I was actually afraid you'd want to put it in S, and I'd have to like be like, no, Joanna, it doesn't go there.
Right, and then next up, we've got the Assembly Square building, which technically I guess is a bit of like a special big modular. My personal first modular, so very special.
I see you're biased.
I'm biased, but also when I build it, I had nothing to compare against. So I was like super excited and I loved it, obviously, but also like I had no standard. Like this was the standard. I think it's a really, really good build. I thought it was fantastic. There was lots of like awesome details and also things that I now like appreciate in hindsight because I know what they refer to or like I know why it was more important to people or something. But like, there was also bits where I was like, I wish there was slightly more detail, or I don't love the colours for the bakery. I think it could have been nicer if that'd been like, it feels a bit cold. I think in my review I said that. Like I wish it was like medium nougat or like a warm colour for like the bakery.
But, yeah, rather than the grey.
Yeah.
When they announced this set, I was like so excited. It was like a big modular, like because we were used to like the regular.
Did they say that before it released?
Yeah. Like, well, Jamie did a video. Wait, I have the makeup brush. Jamie did a video, and you know the basic release video where they'd be like, "This is our next modular." They like pull it out on the side.
And you're like, whoa!
And I was like, "Wow, this is fantastic!" And the fact that it wasn't just like one thing, because up until that point, everything had always been just like sort of one thing, you know, like it was a Parisian restaurant. You know, like Parisian restaurant is a restaurant, and then like just
the detective's office is a little bit different, but that was that stood out a lot when I came out.
Yes, this one was like it's a cafeteria, a music shop, a ballet studio, a photography studio, a flower shop, a bakery, a dentist, an apartment, a terrace. And you're like, what? It had the little fountain in the middle, and it was just like so many things happening. Like it was just fantastic. And I remember I got it for Christmas that year. It was just like
best Christmas
Literally best Christmas ever, and I spent the entire day putting it together, just, like, looking at it and all the little details. I will agree with you with the fact that some of the interiors are lacking. Like, when you say music shop, you imagine, like, maybe, like, a few records or things and, like,
It's
maybe
really empty.
It's really empty. It's just, like, 4 instruments slapped on the wall and the cash register, and you're just like,
And the drum kit.
And the drum kit.
Yeah, like, I think that was my main issue, is, like, the one with the ballet studio above the
Yes.
cafe, that feels really lacking, and because the colors are the same, it's also really samey. So I didn't quite love. I mean, I like that it's there, and obviously that's been done to, like, save money in parts, but I really wish it was tiled and I had, like, more detail. It really lacked a little bit in that sense, but at the same time, it's really big. It's a really, really good early set as well, because it has that fountain in the middle. So it's a really nice one to sort of, like, have as a center of your city. Like, it's really nice for that purpose. But yeah, I think it's gone slightly down in my estimation over time. Like, when I started to kind of decide what I like or value in a modular, I guess. But at the same time, I still think it is really good, and I have 2 of them. I mean, obviously not both built as assembly square, but I think it's a really, really good modular, and I definitely wouldn't want to part with it. I definitely, if the way I did my top 10, like, list was very much like, if I had to sell everything and I could only keep, like, 1 or 2, whatever, which one would I keep? And I feel like Assembly Square would stay in my city for a very long time, because it just has that sort of, like, center of town feel if you really need it to. So, and it has a lot of stories. So I personally am sort of, like, in between A or B.
Same.
But, like,
I mean, it was a 10th anniversary modular. It was such a, like, feat of, design at the time.
I think it may be
Well,
A.
go ahead.
I'm going to do A.
I think I'm going to do A as well.
Yeah. I was just saying, because we obviously criticized the, like, police station a little bit too. I like that the image has gone weird for some reason. Good news, why?
Yeah, it's a little dark.
You'll just have to believe it's there.
It's there, we promise.
Yeah, we obviously have some criticism on. That's why they're not in S tier, right? So, yeah, Assembly Square, it is a special modular. Like, pick it up before it retires, guys. You need it. I mean, you need all of these.
It's been on shelves longer than expected.
It's crazy long at this point, for sure. Because there's, like, what, 2 newer than that? And I don't think it's even retiring this year. Maybe it'll be on shelves until the 20th anniversary. So next up is Brooke Bank. I've only recently acquired this. Well, I feel like it's recent. Actually, it really isn't. It's like a year ago. I feel like it still feels like one of the newer additions to my town, and it was one that I never really necessarily was gonna get, because the money it goes for, it's kind of stupid. And I have a love-hate relationship with this building. I have a lot of thoughts. So I'm very curious to hear yours first, because I know...
Oh my God. Okay, well, I like the Brooke Bank. I feel like it's one of the first corner modulars that doesn't, like, focus on the entrance being in the corner, Like, it's sort of, like, very sort of, like, 2 buildings in one, but not really, because you can't separate them. But I really like the look of it. And then... I also like the little gag in the laundromat with the money laundering. That's just, it's hilarious. It's hilarious to me. I like the colors. I like that it's, like, gray and then, like, with the white and the sand green. It's just
it's really good.
It complements itself so good. And those printed windows, just so good. So good. And then I like that we get the little chrome coins inside. I feel like that's really
and the gold bars. Yes. I like all of those things too. I think that I have 2 issues with this.
Yes, go ahead.
I feel like the story that they tried to tell with this modular was too prominent, so it shaped the design too much, in the sense that it took over, like, basically making it look pretty sometimes. Like, it not hugely, mostly on the bank downstairs floor, where it's a little bit like, I feel like things are missing a little bit. I really like the atrium bit where you have it, like, open in the floor, so it feels taller, and there's, like, the chandelier hanging down. But my remaining criticism, and obviously the thing that I fixed in my own city, is I just think it's too squat. Like, it doesn't feel like it's in proportion. Considering they're going for such, like, a strong Georgian style, I really feel like it needed that 3rd level, which I've given to my Brooke Bank obviously I don't know anything necessary about architecture. I'm just going to go off what I know in my own opinion, and some books I've read. So this is not at all necessarily the truth, but I always feel like when you find these Georgian, like, really grand, opulent buildings, they're never 2 stories, they're taller. So in order for that sort of different color ground floor to work, you need like a balance out of at least, basically it needs to be 1/3, 2/3 in the very least for that sort of balance to strike correctly. Because otherwise it starts to feel really like this, where I really feel like there should be more of the white to balance out how much grey is, especially because the white is sandwiched between the top like floor, which is grey, like roof detail, and then the bottom floor, which is very big, like very, I think it's so detailed that it draws a lot of attention. So it really needed more of that white to kind of give it a bit of breathing space. I've obviously added that extra floor, and I forget that the modular wasn't designed like that, just because it feels so natural for that to sit there. And I'm sure maybe it would have had a 3rd floor at some point when I designed it, but it couldn't do it for budget reasons or whatever. But I really, that is my issue. So if I was judging the Brooke Bank as I've mocked it, and this, I find, it sounds like I'm blowing my own like horn here, like, oh, I mocked so well. Like, I really didn't. I just added like an extra floor, more or less. But it really, like, if that was the modular, I would be like, this is S tier. Like, I love it so much. Like, even though the interiors aren't perfect, I still think that for that exterior it'd be S tier. But because it's not, and because it's this, I have too many things, and it nearly bumps it to B for me.
Okay. I mean,
I have strong opinions.
I understand what you say. Like, as an architect, I understand the proportions of where you're coming from. I feel like, other than budget reasons, it also was kind of like, if they made it 3 stories tall, it would have just been too tall compared to the rest of the buildings.
Have you seen Town Hall?
But that's the thing. Town Hall is supposed to be tall. It's supposed to be like this massive, important building, and then like it would have rivaled Town Hall.
But
And
this
it's
is
just
a bank. They hold all your money.
Well, yes, but come on,
no,
man.
I think, especially because it was sitting next to slightly, especially compared to what has come out earlier, because it was sitting close to like the detective's office and a Parisian restaurant, which were both quite small buildings, really. I think, yeah, I can see why they wouldn't have gone bigger, but it's still, I mean, I can go with A. Like, I can compromise on A.
Yes.
But
yes,
my opinion is, had it had a 3rd floor, I would have put it in S.
No, I agree. Like, I've seen your mock, and it's just fantastic. It's just, it looks so good.
Hardly.
Like, if I could raise all of my buildings just to raise the Brooke Bank.
Yes. I mean, yeah, obviously where I put it, it's very comfortable, 3 floors next to the police station, because the police station is quite tall. So actually, with those 2 next to each other, that's really natural. So it really does help that. And then I have the haunted house next to that, and the haunted house obviously.
The haunted house is like
as well. So
yeah,
it's where it sits.
It's well balanced.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It felt really small next to the police station, actually. Like, to the point that I was like, it needs this 3rd floor even more now, because otherwise it's just like the police more important than the bank. Like, detective office time again. Opinions are had on this modular.
I like the modular, but I don't love it. Like, I remember, because I was, I've been collecting this line for a really long time. So I was always like aware of when they would drop the next modular announcements, and I'd be like, oh my God, let's look at it. And I remember seeing this one and thinking, really? That's what you're going with? Because this is the predecessor to Parisian Restaurant, right? And so after having I'm not going to give my opinions on Parisian Restaurant just yet, but after Parisian Restaurant, and then you're going to this, it was just like, like, it's not a bad modular. I don't dislike it. I liked the fact that it was, again, sort of like police station, which is like different buildings, but it's still just one big block. I liked that.
I like the play of like it's very dynamic. It's not just the one building. And I think it's the first time that it wasn't just the one building. So it really, but in a way it nearly feels like in order to have that, they compromised on size. And even though it's 2 buildings-ish, maybe 3, depending on if you count the dark red, like the reddish brown column in the middle as a building, but technically it isn't, but it looks a little bit like that. It then because they go for technically 3 buildings, it really feels tiny, because even more so, even though it's probably not really piece count wise, it just really does, because they're trying to go for so much. But then at the same time, it does create some much needed like interest in like the line of the modulars. So it does, as part of the modular lineup, I think it's a really nice one to break the eye, and like to break the eye line in that sense, also from height wise, to kind of like really sort of a similar issue that's done when you have the 2 separate buildings instead of one, you know, like the bookshop and a pet shop, which are separated. This does a similar thing, but I think exterior wise it's grown on me. There's a few things that I don't love. I like the printed windows for the pool room, and I like the sort of throwback to the way that they've done Al's barbershop wording, just like with the pet shop. But I think it felt small, and especially considering I was obviously paying retired prices for this. I only got it because I got it for £180, I want to say. So like that was a pretty decent deal considering I only got it like a year ago or less, because they go for much more than that. So I didn't think I was going to own it just because they go for quite a lot, and I wasn't in love with it at most. But I also know a lot of people that really, really adore this modular, and I do like the stories that it comes with. So the stories really, really is fun. It's good for details. Like I do really think that they've done a really good job with details. Sorry, I just accidentally dropped in B tier, and I didn't mean to do that, and it doesn't let me.
I mean, to be honest, I was going to suggest B tier.
It was prophesized.
It was prophesized. You've already decided for me.
But yeah, I think it's definitely B tier. If not, I've mocked it slightly.
Have you?
So with that, yeah, but very slightly. I took the tree out. I thought the tree was pathetic.
Oh yeah, the tree is very tiny. Really
and
sad.
I changed the stained glass windows in the pool room. I like the pool room table, by the way. That design.
Yes. Oh, and the fan. The ceiling fan is really nice.
Yeah. I feel personally, I think I'm between B and C.
I'm leaning
towards B, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, I think B is the right choice. Like, it's like I said, it's a very mid modular for me. Like, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
I like it a lot now. It sits next to Assembly Square. When we were just designing my new layout, obviously we were talking lots and like discussing and stuff. And actually, I found no place that I liked the detective's office a lot, because it very often felt really small. But next to Assembly Square, so that the blue buildings connect, that is a really nice place to put it, actually. So, yeah. Next up, well, I feel like everybody knows my feelings on this one.
I mean, it has my name on it, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, actually.
Yeah, like, I saw
S-tier
this.
Then, done.
Yeah, S tier. Come on. I love this. This modular is just, it's brilliant. Like, the white, the olive green, the dark blue, it's just, the colors work so well together. The level of detail on the inside, the curtains, the kitchen, the Murphy bed, like, it just feels so fleshed out. Even the art studio at the top that doesn't really have a lot, it still has like a kiln for pottery, and it has you know, it's just
I never really talked about that being a kiln.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's majestic. I can't explain it. I just
I love the terrace as well, and even it looks really nice from the back too. Like like it's genuinely nice from the back. Like I'm not just saying
it's an amazing display piece. Like you can display it from any angle and it just looks beautiful.
It's definitely like my favorite modular, but obviously you knew that because it was a very favorites video not too long ago.
It is also one of my favorites. Like it's definitely like the top 3. I agree with it being on S, by the way, because I mean, like I said, it has my name on it.
It's obviously the best because of that. No other
obviously.
I really hope in a way that we're going to be seeing like another curved roof soon. I know obviously we've had the bookshop where you have like sort of a slanted roof, and obviously we've had the dome on the boutique hotel, but like I really want them to see maybe even more curved than the prison restaurant, like a proper like a very different roof line. The boutique hotel's sort of there, but not quite, because it still has that flat roof with the railing.
Really small. Like the curved detail is so tiny.
Yeah. I really want them to do more. I want to see a modern take. Anyway, I love it. it's great.
I agree.
Fantastic.
This has been like the most undebated one. Just like,
yeah, like no,
Yeah.
best wins. Put at the top. Done. So
This is one of my favorite modulars, like top 3 again. I love it so much. It was the one that got me into the line. Like I had seen all the previous modulars before. And you know, the thing is, I'm a big movie fan. Like I love going to the movies and like going into the theater, getting the popcorn, sitting down, like the whole movie going experience as a whole is like one of my favorite activities.
the sitting down in movies is my favorite part generally as well, yeah.
Yeah. So like, see, it's like right behind me. Like I want people to walk in and see it. It's gorgeous. And it's like so timeless because it's also like a very 1920s building, but you can also imagine it in the 50s or in like
it's
current
a very
times.
American building.
It is very American.
And
It
I've
is
never
very
been to America. So the only association I have with it is the Chinese palette, like the Chinese cinema.
Yeah, the one in LA
thing, and just which I also haven't seen in real life, but that's the only one I've
me
ever
neither.
seen. Yeah, like I know it exists essentially.
I love it. I love it so much. The exterior is so pretty. I will admit the interior is kind of lacking. I know it has the concession stand and like the till where you buy things, but the bottom floor still feels like kind of empty. And
I
then
think they've done a good job, like having, like sort of like combating the empty feel by going with a red base plate to kind of like at least have that red carpet feel. I think that was really clever. How do you feel about the fact that it has stickers?
I hate it. I hate that it has stickers. It's like, it hurts me so much that it has stickers, especially because mine are kind of like deteriorated because it's been like forever and they're like starting to peel off a bit in places. And I'm like, no, don't peel off. I don't want to buy another one. So I'm sort of fighting it. I know they won't last forever.
Maybe you can buy like an extra transparent sticker to put over the top of them to protect them better.
Yes, I was thinking of doing this. I still haven't worked it out. Like they're fine for now, but like you can tell that age is starting to get to them, you know, because they are old. They're like almost 10 years old.
I wonder if they're ever going to re-release the stickers for this issue, because obviously it's really, I think at the 20th anniversary they should, or like the 10th anniversary of that set, maybe they should re-release it on bricks and pieces for people to want to get the next.
I feel like that would be wise, especially because, you know, it was a very well-beloved set by a lot of people. I know a lot of people that love this set.
It's a Marmite set, though. It's a love or hate it, because I've also heard a lot of people that don't.
I know a lot of people that don't, present company included. But like, it annoys me that it has stickers. Like for the price that we paid and for like the fact that none of the previous ones had ever had stickers. Like I know they wanted to do like high details, but like I think stickers was the wrong.
Yeah, they printed them, but they've printed things since. They just haven't really until then. I don't think.
Yeah.
Not as much anyway.
Yeah. But those are my thoughts. Let's hear what you have to say.
I don't really like it at all. Even though I really like Art Deco and Art Nouveau style, I don't like the colors on this. I don't like the windows they chose. It feels, I don't know, it just really feels basic. I like that they tried to have the different colors of tiles on the roof, but I still don't like the roof. It just really feels like it's missing sort of like some sort of ornate detail level. It feels really flat to me. My favorite bit is the sign that's on the door. I do like the orientation of it, and I do think it's really effective. I don't like the car that came with it. I mean, I feel like as we're going down this list, the interiors are just going to get less and less. I don't really think we have to hold it against these ones. Like, this is definitely like quite old, even though the prison restaurant really set the standard. But I just really, I had the option. So you know how much of an addict I am. I had the option of getting one for a really, like, I think you were saying 150. Yeah, it was used, but like good condition, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then I was like, thought about it, it's like, no, I just genuinely don't think I want it in my city, like I just don't think I want it, and because I have limited space, obviously I have to be pretty selective, and I was like, I just don't, which was quite, you know, like for me to say no to a really good
Yes.
modular was
I
kind of
know.
like, and I nearly said yes, and I was like, no, I don't. I'm just getting this for the fact it's a modular, not because I like it. Like this is just ticking a box type thing. So yeah, that's my feeling on it. So for me personally, I think I would even put it in D tier. Like, not to joke, I'd put it in D tier. Yeah.
I can't. I feel so offended.
This is my opinion. Like, you know,
I know,
obviously everybody likes
like,
different things, but
for me, it's an A. Like, it's an
really?
A. It's gorgeous. It's just, I guess I'm biased, but I love it so much. I feel like
I'm
it's
also
just
not really a
such
movie person, so
yeah.
yeah.
See, it's like I'm biased, but I can't accept D. I can't.
I really can't put it higher than C though.
No,
I
come on.
can't. Like,
B.
it'd be sitting next to the detective's office and like the diner and the bookshop. Like the bookshop I adore, and like it has to be a C.
I am so against this. I am so against this.
But this video is on my channel. I rule.
Exactly. You have the bigger vote here, but
I have the control over the mouse.
I am against this, but
Physically
fine.
hurting you, like
It hurts me so much. Like I'm in pain. I'm in pain. I know Emmasaurus is in pain with me right now. She's gonna agree.
Don't get me wrong, and obviously, like everybody has different opinions and everybody has different rules. But I think I really also wanted to make this video for the other reason of showcasing that whatever modular comes out, there's always people that love or hate it because. You know, when things come out, sometimes there's so much drama, like, this is rubbish, and you're like, yeah, but maybe you think it's rubbish, but, like, other people actually really love it.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of, like, how I illustrate it. I really genuinely don't like it. But it looks cool lit up, but I like it in other people's cities. It's just not, but then it's a combination of a lot of things for me. Like, they're not being a movie person, not liking the American style as much, not like having chosen to go with a European sort of like decorative style for my own personal city. So there is a lot of things that come into it. And eventually, if I had loads of room, like maybe I would add it somewhere in like a little special corner or something. I don't know, but it's I'm gonna leave in C. It can be like a C plus. You can just imagine like.
All right, I'll imagine a mid-tier between C and B, and it's there by itself.
Close, like
right.
It's like in the middle here.
Okay.
It doesn't do that, so it's still. Christ.
I'm in pain, but it's okay.
Oh my god. I mean, I knew this is gonna be. I think we're gonna get more controversial territory as well, because we're going into the bit where people have really nostalgic attachments to things. So nostalgia always defies any kind of logic. Town Hall. I think you need to speak about it. You own it, so.
All right. Well, Town Hall was a modular that I almost missed on, and I feel like that says a lot about its design, because, like, when I started collecting modulars, it was like from the year before. You know, like I got the detectives. I got the Palace Cinema first, and then I was like, I'm gonna start collecting backwards. But then I bought the Fire Brigade first, then I bought the Pet Shop, then I bought the Grand Emporium, and I kept pushing off Town Hall because I was like, it's not that old, I'll get it eventually. Like, I'll get it because I want to complete the set, but it's not a modular that I'd be like, wow, I need this set in my city. You know, like, yes, it's big, yes, it's tall, yes, it's very imposing, and like, you know, you look at it and you're like, that is an important building, and like, it's got nice details, you know, but I don't know. It's like, it's not something I was expecting. I thought they would do a post office before they did a town hall, you know?
We still haven't a bloody post office.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Give me a post office.
Please.
I personally really feel that it has, so I don't own it. I don't plan on owning it because I feel like from this stage, you can really tell that they're older modulars with some exceptions. But I really feel it's very blocky. It's very unrefined, in my opinion. I don't know, like, it's nice. I like the story detail. I like the elevator detail inside. I think that's really nice. But as a modular, I find it really blocky, and yeah, it's very old school Lego in its angles, and I think I quite like it when the modulars are really trying something new and really have it, and in a way, it nearly looks older than like the greengrocer, because the greengrocer is really pushing those boundaries on angles and stuff, whereas this one just feels. But I mean, disclaimer, I obviously haven't seen it up close that often, so I haven't like in-depth studied its designs, and like I haven't built it myself, so I can't judge from that perspective. But neither have I done that with the greengrocer, and I just really feel like my impression of this, partially because of the tower roof, like the tower is really square, and then the thing itself is really harsh in your face. I like the colors. I don't know, there's a lot of individual elements I like about it, but for somehow altogether it just doesn't quite work for me.
I like how it looks with like all the buildings integrated. Like it's a very imposing piece. Like you look at it and you're like, that is like, town hall. Like you look at it, that's town hall. Like there's no discussing it. And it's like a nice sort of centerpiece to go sort of like Assembly Square on one side and then town hall on the other.
Maybe it's the opposite of the diner then, where the diner is a really stunning building individually, but it doesn't quite work as part of the city. But then actually the town hall individually is a bit boring, but it is nice to have in the street to break up the skyline.
I agree.
But 100%. I think that definitely makes it a C tier.
I accept C tier. I can't believe town hall is with Palace Cinema. That's just like, wow. No. I'm so hurt.
I feel like Josh should edit this video because he's gonna add like so many like more like zoom in moments of like real pain.
Really, like black and white with like little tears.
Yeah. The next up is Pet Shop. I don't think I want to dwell on this too much. I've given my opinion on this quite often. I think the Pet Shop is nice. There are some nice techniques. It's just quite uninspiring. I like that it at least attempted some stories and interiors. I like the dogs, like the animals that come with it, and I like some of the building techniques. I hate the roof on the townhouse. I think it's very ugly. It breaks that building for me nearly, but I also think it's partially to do with just when it came out. I think if they did it now, it would be much nicer.
Yeah.
It's probably a C tier for me. Maybe. No, I think maybe it's a D tier for me, considering that I prefer Corner Garage over it.
Wow. Okay.
I think I'm harsh on it, but I genuinely don't love it. And even though I own it, I'm actively taking out the townhouse. Like, I just don't want it in my city, which I think says quite a lot. It's the first time I'm moving. So.
I mean, the thing that I'm most picky about this, because obviously when this came out, I was not into the modulars as much. But I remember seeing it in stores and thinking, wow, that's cute. But then again, I was a kid, so everything was cute. But when I bought it and I built it, like the interior of the townhouse is just so lacking. There's an empty floor with just like a tile
unfinished
on
as
the
well.
side. It feels so unfinished. And like the attic with just like the boxes. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's nice. I like the fact that it's two separate buildings. Like, aside from Market Street, this is the first one that really attempted two full buildings that like can work separately. And I like that fact. I feel like it was innovative for the time. But it also doesn't say much to me. Like, if you would have released just the Pet Shop by itself,
it would have been like excellent. I would have been happy.
I think I'll accept D. Like, I'd put it in C, but yeah.
I just think the Corner Garage is nicer because I actually like 2 floors of that, which is 2/3 of the building over just half of the Pet Shop. Even though I can still criticize that, and I think building experience wise, the Corner Garage is a really enjoyable build, even if you don't love the end result, just because of the techniques used. Whereas partially because it's older, and also just partially because it's not as inspiring. Like the Pet Shop is just much more straightforward. It's not as like pushing those boundaries yet. So yeah, I really, really think it needs to sit below. Yeah. So I still like I would still add all the other ones. I just don't think I would buy this again. The only reason that is currently quite redeemable for the Pet Shop is the fact that it's only 140, 150 new. At least it was last time I checked. Apologies if the price has gone up, they may have done. But just because it was on shelves a really long time, so this is one of the oldest modulars that you can actually still get for a decent price, partially because not that many people love it either. So I don't think I've ever seen people go, love the Pet Shop, best modular I've seen.
Yeah, no, same. It's a good set. It's a nice set. I like that it gives you like the dynamics to like move it around the city.
Yeah,
and like maybe
it gives you a bit of flexibility in your state.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. It's fine indeed. I agree.
So moving on to the Grand Emporium, you own a set.
I own the set. It's not here with me, but I own the set, and I like it. I like the little changing room at the bottom. I like the spinning door to go in. I love the escalator design. I will admit it was really weird that you only have like one escalator. So then like if you go up, how do you go back down? Like does the escalator work in the reverse, or do you just trap people up at the top floor and they never get out and they just have to buy forever?
No, the way they get out is they go to the roof and then that person that's cleaning the window, they will take them out.
Nah, it just lowers them down.
I actually don't own this, but this is probably one of the only retired modulars that I would buy still. That is bearing in mind that I don't believe it's as expensive as Corner Garage and Green Grocer, but I actually would consider adding this. I would probably mock it slightly, especially the interiors, but even just some of the exterior details. And I have actually been considering just like importing this into studio and just playing around with it and seeing what I can do to it, because I'm currently kind of doing for fun just like a cafe corner like homage set, which is like just on a 16 by 32 base plate and like kind of just playing around with it. I thought maybe I'd do that with this one as well because it's kind of like a fun little project, but I actually think this holds up pretty well, and actually it looks more modern than like the pet shop. I thought they switched positions actually. Maybe the billboard sign at the top that's brick build isn't the most refined, but I still like that it's there. I think it's really sensible, and I also really like that they build this with making it bigger in mind. Like it's really just designed to be extended, either by combining them and making like a whole corner, or either by going up. Like it's really just designed for that, which is cool, but it's obviously old, and it's obviously like the interiors are now going to just be lacking. It's just, we're not talking about the same standard of Lego at the moment than we are like what we have seen recently, but I do think it's really pretty, and also it's a really fun different one to have in your city, because we haven't really got anything that's gotten close to something like that recently. So I think I want to put it like B or C.
I think C+.
C+.
I think I can accept it going next to the Palace Cinema. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's stunning. Like I really do like the colors as well.
Yeah, it's the dark green with the tan. It looks really, really nice.
Yeah, and then the yellow detailing of like the shop.
Yes, and the way that the sign is built is very, very nice.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm doing a mock for the bookshop, and they have the same technique. I'm pretty sure, or like similar.
Yes, it's very similar. Yes.
Okay, right. Let's finish this. So next up is the Fire Brigade, and it's the last one that you own. And obviously, again, I don't own these, but I have opinions still because I'm allowed.
Opinions,
I guess.
Yeah.
You should start, obviously, because like you know it.
Well, this was my second modular, and I basically got it because I knew it was the oldest, and then it would be the first to retire. So that was kind of like my reasoning for getting it so quickly as a second modular. Like, obviously, I like the Grand Emporium more than I like the Fire Brigade, but it's still a nice modular. Like the brick technique for the front, back when there weren't any masonry bricks, I think it's very well done.
Yeah,
like, it looks
good.
really, really nice. And like the detail for the bell is also really, really nice. The interior of this building is actually really, really good. Like, because it, reflects a real firehouse. Like the bottom is like a nice garage, but it also has like the little details of like the trash can to one side and then the little cubby for the hats and the masks and the things on the other one. And I like the little toads that they use as hooks. I think that's brilliant. And then the top floor is very flushed out. It has the couch and the ping pong table, which I love the ping pong table. And then the fridge with the little hot dogs and like the whole kitchen area. It just feels very...
It's weird that it's at that level of interior when some of the ones that came after didn't have that level.
Yes, exactly. And the little tube thing as well. It's very...
Fire pole.
Yes, the fire pole. Thank you.
The tube.
I like it. It's a good modular. I really like the fact that it's got a good interior and the exterior is really nice. The tree, for the time, was like a nice addition because I think it's the first time Was it the first time that a modular featured like a tree? Maybe.
Sure it is, yeah.
It was. And I like the touch of greenery. I thought it was really weird that they built it on 2 base plates. Like, that's strange to me. It's 2 16 by 32 base plates. It's not a 32 by 32.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that was the reason.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just weren't producing dark gray base plates in 32 by 32, but that's just,
budget requirements.
Yeah, a bit of history, but I like it. It's a good modular. I like how it displays both, front and back. Like, the back of this is also very nice with the little big doors that open, rather than the roll-up garage door. And I like the water tower at the top. So, like, I like a lot of things, but it's still, like, not my favorite. Like, I don't know how to...
Together, I think it's suffering from, like, a lot of these ones are kind of beginning to suffer with age a little bit, unless you're nostalgic for them, or your city is based around these designs, modulars.
Yes.
I think when I was discussing in my, like, review for the Parisian restaurant, I really feel like from the Parisian restaurant, they start to feel modern. The modern modular line starts. Whereas this, previously to that, you can really just draw a line. It's such a different type building.
Yeah. It's like they were still kind of experimenting with what works, what doesn't work. Because, before this, they weren't doing buildings.
Yeah, and actually when they originally, like, did this concept, this was meant to be the last one in their series. And then, I mean, obviously Market Street was only, like, happened to happen because an intern designed it. So really there was only meant to be 3 initially. So that was kind of, like, designed, and then that was it. But then obviously they continued because it was super popular. so
Thank God.
So weird that really lasted. But I think it looks nice. It's not really something I want to add to my city, mostly because I don't really feel like I need to add a fire station, but it's a nice design. I like the colours of it. I wish we got another dark red modular. That'd be cool. Maybe when we get our post office, Lego.
Hopefully. Next year, Lego.
Are you listening? I think, or even when we get a hospital, I think their colours that could really work for a hospital as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks nice. I think the interior details look good, but I'm just not very fussed by it. I like the vehicle as well, by the way. It's quite cute.
Yes, the vintage fire truck is very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So really, I think it's a good modular. I'm just not very tempted to put these higher than C, because I mean, if I would put them higher than C, like, why don't I own them essentially?
Yeah.
Really.
And then, like, is this really better than, like, Palace Cinema? Is it though?
I mean, it's completely, like, arbitrary.
Yeah.
I'm judging this on whether or not I want to spend money on it, and for me, that's always had to be the retired modular, because the retired money, because I've never been able to buy it for what they go for. So I think that's where my reservedness comes from these, because even though I think at the time maybe they were more worth it, to me now these things now go for like 1.5 to 2 times what they used to cost. So that is just how expensive they've always been to me. So obviously that impacts how much I need to love it before I want to buy it.
Yes.
So I think I want to put it in C, but I need your guidance on that, because I can be swayed.
I mean, if I'm judging it as just the building itself, I think it's deserving of B. But then again, like, looking at it as a whole in the line, I don't know, it's just very blocky, but it's also really nice, like I said, it displays well on its own. So I think
B is
fair. I think B is good. Yeah, I think
there was a lot of good points you could list there. You were very convincing.
Yeah, I think B works, even though Palace Cinema isn't B.
No, it's in C+.
Yeah, C+.
Alrighty, then we're going on. I think we're going on to Green Grocer. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of like this wide wheel set for a lot of people. It seems to have kind of gained cult status. I mean, obviously Cafe Corner is always going to anyway, because it's like the first one. But this one also really has a lot of very dedicated fans, and it's a cool color too.
Yes.
It's holding up surprisingly, considering how old it is in its angles, though at this point now we've just received those curved windows, like, that proper mold for them. I do think it's starting to show its age. Again, I would really love to see a modern take on this. but it does hold up. I mean, obviously the interiors are like essentially non-existent.
Yeah,
but,
I mean the market and
yeah,
the
the
grocer.
Green Grocer itself has some, but like
yeah, but then like the other two levels.
this is a bit
Like this
like
is a
$12 or
modular
something.
that I'm hunting currently,
Yes.
and I never find a good deal. It's always so expensive, but it's like I can live without Cafe Corner and Market Street. Like I can do it. But I kind of really want Green Grocer to incorporate it into the city. It's just I like the colors. I like the design of it. Like you said, it's holding up well. Like it fits really nicely into the line.
It's very pretty. I think it's also nice that it's a Green Grocer. It's really something that we're lacking in the like in the Modulars at the minute, like a proper place to buy food. So you know, outside of a coffee shop or a restaurant, like a supermarket type place. So it's a good function too, I think. I don't know. I'm especially the fire brigade is a B. I definitely think this should be a B, if not. It's hard to put it in A because I really don't think, you know, the interiors. It definitely shows its age, but it has some sort of quirky charm.
I mean, for the time that it was designed in,
cool.
It was just like amazing. It was like a feat of Lego design,
and the way they used pieces to create details that they just didn't have pieces for, like windows and stuff.
Yes, I think it's just really clever. I think B is a good choice.
I think I'm starting to go with A. You know,
with
if we really judge it in
better than the bookshop,
I think I think what makes it better than the bookshop is when you judge that building, the Green Grocer, based on when it came out and what it was on the shelves with. It stands out very, very much. Whereas I think the bookshop, we've seen better at that point.
Yeah.
So
okay. I see your point.
So I think it should be an A for that reason.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. You've swayed me. This was a good point.
Thank you. Very persuasive. So you're buying it tomorrow?
Oh yes, of course. I just had $1,500 lying around.
I didn't need it anyway. It was burning a hole in my pocket.
Of course not.
Okay, well, Market Street, you know, the modular that was never meant to be, but exists anyway.
Yeah.
Funny story. I made a most wanted list probably in the third or so month after I got back into Lego. This was on it. There was something about it that just, I don't know, it just grabbed my attention. I really, really love it. It has since fallen in my estimation, but it's, I don't know, there's something about it. I think it's possibly the color, and also like it has a slight Amsterdam-y feel to it.
That's what I was gonna say. It's a very canal house.
Yeah, I think that is possibly why.
This is sort of conflicting because I think it's a good build. Like when you look at it, you see like, oh, it's a nice building, but like the interiors are so lacking. There's literally nothing inside. And then like you say it's called Market Street, but then the market itself only has like a crate of apples.
That is, like, that is why it bumped.
Is it really a Market Street? Is it just not an apple stand?
Yeah, no, I agree. That's, as I said, like that's why it fell off my list. It has ended up being like not what it said it was really, and like I love the design and I like how, I don't know, I like a lot about it, but again, I was judging that from like, do I want to now spend money on it that it's worth, because it's worth like so much. And I was like, no, like it's not as important to me. I'd rather have a mock or something. However, I think it's a cool modular, and especially again, if you look at the time and considering like an intern designed this, like he just came up and like went for it, like awesome. Genuinely, it's a great set, especially for its time. It's just in the context right now, I personally wouldn't buy it, but I still think it's a good design. But I definitely wouldn't want to put it higher than B tier.
Oh no, I would put it at C.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, considering it's sitting with the Grand Emporium and stuff, then I think that's a very comfortable place for it to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be agreeing with that for now. I do like how creative they are with part uses in it, and like I like how they, you know, the cast iron gatey thing.
Yes.
Kind of like they've kind of done a similar thing recently in a boutique hotel, and it was kind of like that nice little like, hey, that's very similar, nice one. So yeah, like it has a lot of really nice elements, and I think the color again is very unique and it does stand out. So do like that, but it's just very expensive now.
Yeah,
And it's
so
essentially
expensive.
1.5. Like, it's not even a half building. It's just
Yeah,
that
yeah,
bit lets it down for me. Like, if that was a proper market with like more stalls, then I would
yeah,
have loved it more. I think I would have been a
yes,
believer.
yes.
So, are you ready?
I am not ready. I have so many mixed feelings.
Is this a controversial one?
Well, I want to hear your take on this first.
Ooh, okay. Well, I obviously chat loads anyway, so that's no problem. I think this is very pleasing to the eye. I think it holds up. I don't think the building techniques necessarily hold up. I think it's a bit clunky in ways, but considering when it came out and considering the fact that like there was literally not even really like a Lego window in existence by the time they did this, like it's awesome. I think the colors are nice, though the more I look at it, the more I question that. I like the dark red, is what I'm saying. Like the dark red is good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the reddish brown and the tan together,
Mm.
but it has a charm, and I think it's one of those buildings, like, it's impressive. The angle is very pleasing. It looks really good. Also, it's very recognizable, and you're like, oh, cafe corner. But the more you look at it, the more I always start tearing it apart. And I've done that quite often now, where I'm like, oh yeah, it's really good. And I was like, oh no, I don't actually like this element. Oh, the tower, actually, I don't really like how the tower is designed. Because obviously I'm looking at this with modern eyes, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, and it's like, and the longer I look at it, the more I'm like, no. And also, obviously, again, I looked at this in the sense of like, people are paying £650 or whatever for it. I'm
Yes,
like,
it's
oh
insane.
no.
It's
So,
insane. I
it is
mean,
a good angle though.
it's a good angle. I mean, to start off the whole line with a corner, it's just like
Yeah.
nice. I like the exterior of it, obviously because there's no interior, but it's like you say, like for the time, it was like an amazing feat of Lego design because there were no windows and you had to like work with what you have, and they did brilliantly. If you ask me, like it looks fantastic. Like you say, if I was an AFL at the time, I would have been like, bro, this is amazing. Like
All
I
my
need
prayers have been
this.
answered.
All my bros, like it's just amazing. But I don't know. It's like if you're advertising a cafe corner, like where's the cafe? Where
Yeah,
is
I mean,
the
it's
cafe?
obviously a cafe, but
I mean, yes, but then they also put the hotel sign on the side, and there's literally nothing inside. Like not even
yeah.
a suggestion of a bed. Like I wouldn't have minded if they had like plates for beds, like just a regular 4x6 plate.
Sorry, you have to
It's
repeat
okay.
that.
I wouldn't have minded it if they had like plates for beds, like a regular 4x6 plate. But they didn't. It was just like a completely empty interior. And maybe it was because of costs, because they had to spend so much on building the building itself because they couldn't save on like window frames and different
Well,
pieces.
obviously, this is the only one that has double walls, so it has
Yes.
an actual different color on the inside, and I think that is really cool. It's part of the reason why I would really like to build it, because it would be really exciting to kind of have one that is different and then maybe add interiors yourself.
Yes, I feel like I've seen people add interiors to this and
Yeah.
it looks fantastic. Like if it would have come with some of the interiors I've seen, I would have been like, this is A
Need it.
or S even. Like, it's the founder of the whole line, and it's
It's
really,
very
really
iconic.
Yes, it's like you it has its own tile, for crying out loud. Like, come on. It's just
I feel like it's hard to judge because I very much respect it for its building creativity. I very much respect it for just like as a building, it's insane. Like it blows my mind when it came out, like the contrast it was against, and I don't know, like if I had to base it on that, I would put it in A, but just because of the context of like it's sitting next to buildings, like I don't know, I feel really conflicted about it. I feel like it's beautiful and I would definitely take it and add it to my city if I had the chance. I may change it, but I don't know if I have the skill that I would want in order to make it more modern. So I'm still kind of like, it can comfortably sit next to Green Grocer because I definitely think it's higher than like than the bookshop or the fire brigade. I feel like it's like an A-. Like it's sort of in between for me.
Yes, I sort of agree that it's an in between. I just let it sit in B, but like a B plus, you know? Like
Yeah,
I feel like it's a good set. And you know, for the time, it was just something that blew people away. You know, I remember seeing pictures of this and like I never saw it in shelves because I just never did. But I remember seeing pictures of it back in the day and being like, that is a very interesting build. Obviously, at the time they were, you know, they were promoting it as in like buy a bunch of them and build a huge skyscraper.
Yes,
And I'm like,
yeah.
no.
Can I have one?
Yeah, can I just have the one, please?
I
But
still think I would put it in A. Even though we've agreed that it's in between, I think it should sit in A over B. Very much the same reason why I put Green Grocer in A and not in B, because of like the bookshop. I just do think, I don't know. The only reason that I haven't got it is because it just costs
so
ridiculous
much.
money. Just
I mean,
ridiculous.
I'm not gonna lie, same. Like the completionist in me wants all of them, but the 3 original modulars are just so expensive right now. It's ridiculous. I remember
Yeah.
one time, I will never forget this. There's a website called I think it's Brick Fan or something like that, and that's where I got my Lego news when I was a teenager. And there was one time when for April Fools they said Cafe Corner and Green Grocer are getting a re-release and they're getting like revamped, just like the Winter Village toy shop. And I was like, what? I can't believe it. And it turned out to be false. And I was heartbroken. I was like,
I reckon you were one of many.
yeah, it was just such a cruel joke, you guys. That's a cruel joke. And like,
And
I
they were
just,
like, "Mwah."
you know, like people are going to freak out. But yeah, like I still want all of the modulars, you know, like even if we say they're outdated and they're like, they could
They
be
have
better. Obviously, they
they're a
could be
piece of
better.
Lego
But
history in there.
yeah, it's just exactly. There's so much history and like it's just look at where we are now. Like look at this. This wasn't
Yeah.
possible. Like in
Awesome.
2007.
It's the
It
best.
wasn't.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what they're gonna do. Honestly, I love this line with
Yes.
so
I mean,
much.
it's like Christmas. I mean, it is Christmas because it's like literally right around the corner. But it's like the anticipation. Like it's just.
Yeah, the build up, like as an AFL, like in the months coming up, like when will we find out what, you know?
What is it gonna be like? Even when they just say it's a insert type of building, like police station or bakery or whatever, you're just
Yeah, but
like
that
you already
doesn't
start imagining like what are they gonna do and like what's it gonna be like? What's the color gonna be?
Yeah. I am very excited for 5 years time from now and seeing what they do for the 20th anniversary. Like,
oh,
I can't, like, I'm already excited.
So it's so far away, but we're already excited.
But like, I bet the designers are thinking about it because really, like, in production land, that isn't very far away.
Yeah.
So you have to have that sort of thought in your head. And I really don't envy the designers that work on these. I know that there's like, you know, there's rumors about like, oh yeah, the people that do modular are a bit of a snob, blah, blah, it's a team, but I mean, point one, this is office culture, there's always drama somehow, but also just the sheer pressure those people in particular are under you won't ever please everybody.
No, obviously.
Any risk you take will be slammed by at least a small / loud group. It's just such a difficult job to have, and I think it's such a pressure, but at the same time an honor. And not just as the pressure by fans, it's also like you look at everything that came before and you just are like, oh my god, like, you know.
Yes. I can't imagine. I really can't imagine. Like even though we've like set them up in this like tier system, I still think that each modular brought something new and different to the table. And it's just like, you know, just having them is amazing. Like even though we've criticized them a little bit, but you know,
like we're fair, you know, we're allowed to criticize
it's been constructive, right? Like, you know, it's not like, oh, we hate this. No.
It's not like pure facts of like, this is our opinion, this is the ultimate truth gospel.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like, not at all. This is just us sharing what we think. Obviously, we've had different opinions, but you know,
yeah, D tier Palestine.
Yeah, C, B, A, S, not A. It's fine.
You think A, I think D. No, it's in C.
It's in C plus.
C plus. I'm sorry.
C plus.
Looking at like the list holistically now we kind of like populated it. Do you think do you feel comfortable? Disregarding the Palace Cinema, do you feel do you feel like comfortable like where they sit with other modulars? Do you think it's like a fair list, or you're like, oh, actually in context of the ones that now sit next to it, like actually I would move this one up or down?
I think maybe I know you're not gonna like this, but I think I'd move Market Street down. There was just like
D.
Yeah, for me. But it's just because there are some parts, like for example, I know that the tiles at the top, they used both tan and like light gray, and there's like just a little bit of mismatching with the colors all around. The details are nice, but I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me as much, and I don't feel comfortable with it sitting like next to the Grand Emporium or the corner garage, like I mean it's fine, like I accept it because this is our combined views, but if it was just up to me,
I mean that's a good argument to make, because it does feel more mismatched actually, and obviously it was in a different budget restraints, but it's I think that's so, because sometimes obviously I've made quite a strong argument as to why I wouldn't want things to sit next to a certain set, and now you've made an argument. Actually, I think you've convinced me. So I'm really sorry, Market Street. You are going to be downgraded. Oh, that's the wrong screen. I'm trying to do it on. Oops. No, I think that's fair, because especially also again putting money where your mouth is. Like I would definitely buy the Grand Emporium especially before I would buy Market Street.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything else I'm pretty comfortable with. Like I'm so happy that Parisian Restaurant is like our.
Yeah, I forgot about that one being S tier actually, because there was a moment it's like I don't think I'll put anything in S tier, but actually that one is S tier for me.
That one is S tier.
Good old Jamie.
Good old Jamie. I mean, Jamie's designed all of them up until Palace Cinema, I think.
Not on his own, obviously, as part of a team. But I think he was the lead designer on the Parisian Restaurant, I'm pretty sure. So,
yeah. Yes, he was. It was so good.
Jamie, if you want to come on a call with us, that'd be awesome. You probably won't ever see this.
Jamie, we love you.
Yes, you're awesome.
You guys should check it out. It's amazing.
We'll link it, with their 14 million subscribers, 14K, I don't know, they have like crazy amount of subscribers.
We should still link it so people who haven't seen it can like appreciate the gorgeousness of that video. It's just
Alrighty guys, thank you so very much for watching. I hope that was mildly entertaining, and feel free to completely disagree and tell us how wrong we were in the comments. I'm sure people have very serious views. Don't forget to check out the lovely Alberto. His channel links His channel link SkyGuy365 is either in the card and also in the description. So please go and check him out. Like, he's just getting back into YouTube, so finding his feed, sharing all the cool mocks he's doing, just rediscovering that love and sharing it with people. So definitely go and check that out. And yeah, this was awesome. So I think we're probably going to be doing this again, but like on your channel for like nostalgic Harry Potter sets. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. We have to work out the details,
but yeah. Thank you so much for having me here. It was so much fun. I really, really loved it. It was just like you said, I feel kind of exhausted.
It's actually really exhausting.
But it was amazing. It was just so nice to be able to like share these opinions with other people.
Awesome. Well, next time you will have final say because you'll have the mouse control. So you can disagree. And you'll be like, no. All right. Well, thank you so very much for watching, guys. See y'all later.
Alrighty, well that was that. I hope you enjoyed watching that. As you can see, we had a lot to say. I hope some of them you agree with. I'm sure plenty of you won't agree with some of our rankings. Feel free to tell us in the comments how we are wrong. And yeah, I will see you all very, very soon in some other updates. We've got some videos coming, don't you worry. Various Lego trips, some hauls, maybe even, and some city updates as usual. So do not forget to subscribe both to this channel and also Alberto's channel, SkyGuy365. And I will see you all very, very soon, my lovely Lego addicts. Bye!
It's cool to rank them actually. It's hard. I feel like really exhausted now. Like I've done
me too. I'm like
a great feat of like, that was a lot of responsibility.
Exactly.